Well, we made it to Hong Kong. We took the ferry from Macau yesterday and made it into Fortress Hill, where our hotel is.
And then headed over to Central for some dinner. We had Szechuan, which was spicy. Spicier than we thought it would be.
Certainly, I was expecting Cantonese spicy, not Szechuan spicy, and we got Szechuan spicy, which was a surprise.
But good.
It was really good.
Walked around Central a bit and then had beers and cocktails and called it a relatively early night.
And today the Chins have family lunch, so we're at loose ends. And we just picked a direction and started walking. So far, so good.
Yep.
I think that's all we know. We have no plans for Hong Kong. We're letting the Chins have their experience here. So let's see what happens.
What happened was us rejoining the group after family time, and we all took the tram up to Victoria Peak. The rain had not followed us from Macau, so we had a clear day, and it was stunning. We stopped for a drink at a restaurant that overlooked the city. And then headed back down the hill. For dinner, we headed to the Kowloon side to Oi Man Sang, where the centerpiece is the old-school kerosene wok brothers. It was delightfully cramped, and I think I'd call it the best Cantonese meal I've ever had. Since it was close by, we walked by the ladies' market before calling it a night.
Welcome to Hong Kong Day 2. Pretty quiet day so far. Eunice and Eugene got to go see one of their aunties who is in a care home somewhere. So Kat and I wandered around a bit, and then we came out to Central and we went to this Hong Kong cafe. It was definitely somewhere that was jumping. The fact that we managed to get 5 seats, I think, was a bit of a miracle, but very good. And now we walked a good chunk of the way across the island to come back to this place that serves some kind of noodles. They're back there ordering my lunch because I had no strong opinion. I trust their judgment. Let's see what I get for lunch.
So, how was lunch?
Fishy. I think it was a very good fishball soup, and I don't think fishballs belong in soup.
I think they do. It was a very good fishball soup.
Yeah.
So for dinner, we met up with Eunice's friends Winky and Sharon, and they took us out for a really great dinner in Kowloon.
And then after dinner, we went for craft beer with Winky, who really seems to have an astonishing knowledge of the subject. Thanks, Winky. In the morning, we weren't too much the worse for wear. We did, however, discover that McDonald's here has a luncheon meat McMuffin.
Obviously, we had to get the Spam McMuffin. Here we go.
Which the world needs. Put Spam on your Egg McMuffins. It's a game changer.
So for lunch, we met up with Eunice and Eugene's cousin Kate and her adorable baby Levi.
I didn't take any video. Sorry, but adorable baby.
It was a really good Dai Pai Dong lunch.
Instead of taking the MTR back towards the hotel, we decided to hop on one of Hong Kong's trams, which I gotta say, for $3 Hong Kong dollars, which is about 50 cents Canadian, is an astonishingly good tour of the city.
It's like a hop-on, hop-off bus, but better.
So tonight we're back in Kowloon for dinner. Let's see how that goes.
It went. We had dinner and I filmed nothing. Then we took the Star Ferry back to Hong Kong Island. Once again, the Hong Kong public transit system provided us with stunning views for a price that I could not possibly argue with. We walked into Central to the justifiably highly rated Penicillin and Lockdown and had some drinks. Both were great bars, but Lockdown's probably the one I vibed the most with.
Well, now that we're leaving Hong Kong, I guess we should talk about the reason that we kind of went there in the first place, which was it was a bit of a homecoming trip for Eunice and Eugene, having not really been there as an adult. So, as a grown-up Hong Konger returning, what did you think?
There are a lot of things about Hong Kong that were different from when I was a child and from my previous trips because we only did things that my family would typically do.
Yeah, it's definitely different going to Hong Kong as an adult. Also, as an adult, unaccompanied by family. Because even as an adult, when you go home, you kind of get taken around by the family. You don't really have a choice.
Like going out to night markets and just experiencing the city nightlife that we never did with my family.
You don't always have to go to the same restaurant that uncle likes, right?
Yep.
There was no going out on my own after they were tired. I hung out in the flat when they were tired.
You get taken to the places that they always go to, and you're not allowed to go to places that are, in their minds, dangerous and dirty from 45 years ago when they were last living there regularly.
So some of the things that we got to do this time, like go to Lockdown and Penicillin, was not something that I would have done on a family trip.
And how many times would you say we were the victim of crime?
0.
Was it 0?
0.
How was the Hong Kong you visited different than the Hong Kong that was sort of in your mind from childhood?
It's much more metropolitan and much more multicultural than I remember it being as a child.
It's definitely a lot busier. I remember taxis being a valid mode of transport because the traffic wasn't that bad.
I'm not a fan of the efficiency. So, when we went to that milk tea place, I really wanted to enjoy that second cup of milk tea that I don't get to have in Canada because it's a stocking milk tea and you don't really get that.
Yeah.
I felt the lady go, are you done? Are you done?
They wanted
Are you done
us,
now?
They wanted us out of that milk tea place because they had more people that wanted to sit down at that table, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess it also seems more busy. It's probably because of the population increase.
I pictured it, or I remember it more like the walled city in Kowloon, which we were close to, but didn't actually go to. I pictured it much more rustic as a child.
Now that we're done in Hong Kong, our next stop is the Philippines. See you in that video.
Bye!
Bye, everybody. All right. Let's see if any of that worked.